Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is me Aditi Ranjan, and before we start anything, how are you all guys doing? This video is about point of information or POI. And this video is not just a simple video because this video will teach you the ultimate tool that you can use in British parliamentary debate that people generally skip or people misunderstood and even underestimate it. But trust me, if you master POI or point of information, nobody is gonna defeat you in the British parliamentary debate, and that's a fact and that's a guarantee. But before I start this video, you know what to do. You have to drop your love in the comments, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and everything like that because that gives me a lot of motivation. And not speaking much, let's go and dive it into the knowledge and let's learn.
Let us go and master the point of information or POIs in a British parliamentary debate. Starting with a very beginner level is a POI. So, in a very basic thing, so POI or point of information is a very short question, a very focused question that you ask during to the opponent during their speeches. So while your opponent is paying a speech or giving their speech, you ask a question. That's a POI, and a POI cannot exceed more than 10 seconds. So remember, if you're asking any question during a BP debate, as a POI, don't exceed it more than 10 seconds. And if you do, the opponent is not going to answer your question and they're just going to speak from the middle. So if I take more than 10 seconds, the opponent is going to cut off my words and start saying their speeches. So nobody's going to wait for you. So do make sure that keep it under 10 seconds. Now, what is the purpose of POI? So, POI has a very strong purpose. They challenge the perspective, clarify, and seek information. So, if I say that during my arguments, if I say that like 63% of students have preferred maths over biology, so that like this is the data. So as a POI you can ask that the open, so how can you clarify, so which organization data did you use, so who did this survey, and like all of these things that you can ask, like to clarify me what, how are you saying that. And also written here, so 10 to 15 second is the maximum to ask a POI. And this is an example, so you can just read it down. The mechanism, when and how to start. So I covered how, like what is a POI, now how, when and how to offer. So when is actually you cannot ask a POI during protected time. So in the motion video or in the introduction video, I told you about the protected time. Let's go more on this. Protected time is the first minute and the last minute during the speeches. So if I say, if I'm given 8 minutes of speeches, so you cannot ask me a POI by the first minute when it counts to the first minute and after the 7 minute. So you cannot ask a POI between that because that is a protected time. You know, why it is protected? Because in the first minute, like from 00 to 01, and like you count the seconds and it's 1 minute, in that time I have just started a debate, and while I have just started the debate I have nothing to clarify upon. So you cannot ask me a POI upon that. And after the seventh minute, why I'm saying it's protected time, because the person is actually concluding everything. So a speaker is actually concluding everything whatever he has said. So that is why you cannot take a POI between that. So you don't offer a POI, that's a protected time. But you can ask a POI between the first minute and the last minute. So between that. So if I say when I'm supposed to give a POI, so after the first minute. So like it's when 1 minute, 1 second, the POI starts. And how much time you can ask it is 6 minutes and 59 seconds. So that is the between of how you can ask POI. And remember, this is a very strict rule in a BP debate. So do not ever try to cross it over. And how to signal. So if you are using, like if you're debating online, then you can use like, and even through the Zoom, then you can like raise your virtual hand, and or you can unmute yourself and say POI, and even you can write it in the chat box. But if you're like debating offline, the most preferable gesture is raise your hand and say POI. And that's all you can do. And remember, a speaker can either reject or accept your POI. So if I have to accept a POI, I will say, okay, I'll take that POI. And if I have to reject, I will say, no, thank you. So that's how you move on. And remember, if somebody is denied your POI, do not heckle them every time. So if I ask you a POI and you rejected it, and I'm not supposed to heckle 50 times during your speeches that POI, POI, POI. No, that's really not fair. And that gives a very bad impression to the judge, that you don't have any ethics and morals. So that's like a very ethical thing that I don't think I have to explain a lot. Do not heckle a speaker ever. So if I give you a POI and you rejected it, wait for 1 minute, then again offer that. And if that is also rejected, stop asking POI, because that's like a more ethics. Because, and you can also speak in the, like, before your speeches start, that I don't prefer a POI. So nobody's allowed to ask you a POI, or you can also say that I prefer POIs while raising hand. So please do not speak between my speeches. So that you can just add your preferences before even your speech starts, and that is a smart move if you're comfortable with a specific rule or like a specific way. So you can just clarify that, and if somebody does, please follow that. Please really follow that. I think that will not give you a marks, but that will give you ethics or morals. So that's all. Now, why POIs are powerful in a BP debate? So I covered like what is POI, when to offer, how to offer. Now, why I'm offering, or why POI are powerful. So POI actually engage opponents directly. So you can literally do a 1v1 talk to your opponent. You just give them a question, they answer that for you. That's simple. And you can challenge their arguments like in the same spot. So if I say something wrong in an argument, you can just point it out and say that, and that's over. My points will get no marks for that. Now, expose flaw. So if in my debate or in my arguments or in a stance, if I have some flaws, so I did not explain much about impact, so you can just ask me about impact, and the judge is gonna feel like, okay, they did not explain impacts well. So that is like more of an engaging 1v1 debate type of format that we use, and shift the momentum. So even if the opposition is saying the like speeches, you can still have an like momentum in yourself. So that means like, fairly speaking, so like you are the star of the debate, even if the opposition is so nobody is actually interested. So if that is exactly why we use POI. So POI retain your control over the debate. That's what is happening. So you can actually shift to the debate topic. So if you want the opposition to talk about pollution, so you give them a POI that's obvious answer is pollution, and you give them, and they will start talking about pollution, and they'll forget their main point. So that's how smartly you work upon that. And show the confidence. Show confidence is basically very simple and very important as well. During asking a POI or taking a POI, this is for both the things. Show the confidence. Always show the confidence that, okay, so that gives a sense to everybody, okay, this boy or this man or this woman has a like strong stance or like a strong leg during like a debate, and they know the motion, and they know what they're debating for. It's not that just on the surface I've read something from ChatGPT and I'm coming and saying that. No, that's not a way of debating. And when you give that debate, the judge of course know that that's copied from any AI. So show confidence while you give. So that's actually give them a like smart move and confidence that, okay, so you know more of the debate rather than your opposition. Now, type of POI. So this is something that is very important. How many types of POI? And I know this is not just specific number of POIs you can ask. You can ask so many multiple times, but these are the four main types of POIs that is actually offered. So that is clarification. So you ask something about clarification. So that's a very simple, very simple about clarification. So you ask them. So if in an argument I say that the like the government is offering senior citizens a refinement in taxes. So let's say that we are just giving them some discounts on taxes. So you, as a clarification, you can ask that. So like you can ask that, okay, how many like what is the criteria to fit in that senior citizen, and how many discounts that you offering, and what time frame is it going to happen, and will it end soon? So like such type of questions you can ask, that give me a reason to speak more on that topic. Like, now challenge. So challenge their perspective. So if they say that banning child labor will actually give student a chance to study, so you can actually challenge their perspective and say that if the child is only the bread earner of their family and there is no school in the city or in their village, so how are you going to manage with that? So that actually challenges. So that's like, POIs are simple rebuttals that you make, but 1v1. And that they are very strong. Actually, I'm telling you, POIs are very, very strong things that you can make. Now, I told you about, like, so if I said the point that banning child labor will actually give a chance of study or education to the children. So we can say, like, okay, so, like, that actually a cut off to my point that there are so many places where there is no schools at all, and sometimes the children are only the like bread earner of their family. So how are we going to deal with that? So that's like, and that will impact me to speak more and more about this topic, to give the clarification and to challenge that, okay, my perspective is better, and in this middle I'll forget saying all the other points, and this is how I lose the debate or you win the debate. So that's a smart move that you can play. Evidence request. So evidence also, I told you just in the video before that. Suppose I say that students of class. So like, let's take an example, just an evidence that 90% of students prefer commerce stream over like science stream or the humanities stream. So you can ask me, like, how, where did you get this data? Like, who has conducted this survey? Where did you get a survey from or data from? So that's like demanding proof of like the arguments or the stats I make. And hypothetical is the very strongest one. I truly believe that if you like go for hypothetical, that will give you a clear sense. So that means, if so, like, that's like a if statement that you can make. So every time if I make an argument that banning private schools will definitely give a student a chance to grow well and into their skills, so you can say, like, what if your plan fails? So students are not going to go to schools also, and they do not go to bring out skills also. So how are you going to manage that? So that's like a if situation or a hypothetical situation that you make in your mind according to the arguments made by the opposition. Now, POIs for different position, opening government on opposition. So, you ask a specific type of POI, not type of POI, like a kind of POI that you ask. And this is for both like opening government and opening opposition. That is defined debate terms. So for opening government, the OG, it is very important to define the debate terms and set the framing through POI. So, and opening opposition, they challenge OG's definition and expose weakness in their case. So that is the basic burden that you use. And remember, burden in the terms of debate is means what roles are you given. So OG is given to define the debate and to set the debate basically, and OO, that is opening opposition, it has a duty to challenge the OG's perspective and find the flaws and the weaknesses. So let's take an example, but does not your side agrees on X and Y, Z, and how are this policy prevent X from happening? So that's how you deal with POI. So this is basically because as a PM, I think the POI has nothing to do. So you can ask a POI from like a DPM or like a DLO. So these are type of the debates, or these are the questions that you can ask. So if two perspectives, so in a speech itself, if I give two different perspectives that they're poles apart, so I cannot just add them. So let's take a debate example that is actually my personal story. In a debate, me and my partner, or like the people who was with me as my team, said that we in our democracy or in the economy, we are going to merge all the political parties. And when I said the debate, I did not include any of this. So that's like a conflict between the two team members. And how did the opposition take like good of that is, they said that during up there's no collaboration between the DPM and the PM, and because of this clearly shows that they have no like explanation or depth about this topic. So that's how you strongly you pick out the points and you throw POIs to them. So that's all that you have to answer for that. And POI is different for the closing government and closing opposition. The closing government is extending the arguments that I've also told you in the extension video of the same playlist and defend against the attacks. So if like DLO attacks on the first side, so what you have to do is as a member of government is protect your side. And opening opposition is identify the contradiction. So you just have to, same thing, you just have to extend the arguments and protect your side from the attack and attack the core logic. So that's how you can do that. Now, examples of effective POI, so context. So let's say a motion should be banned, like social media should be banned because of like anonymous accounts. So that's like a context you make. Speaker argument like banning, reducing online harassments. Effective POI. So, and now let me make you understand. I'm very bad at reading slides. So let me make you understand in my example or in my way. So the context of this debate is that social media should be banned because there are so many fake accounts or AI accounts that are happening. So that's like a context. That's not a motion. That's a context of the debate. Now, speaker argument. So if a speaker says that, yeah, we should ban social media because social media banning will actually reduce online harassments. So what effective POI can you answer? Stop reading on the slides. Tell me which one are you going to pick from this? So not just this. So just look at all this. Are you going to clarify? Are you going to challenge? Are you going to evidence request, or are you going to for hypothetical? Prepare each for them and also write it in the comments. So I will love to listen to that also. Now, what here it is would not be banning silence, like marginalized voices replying to anonymity, something like that. You can answer also, and so that's how you bring a strong POI that can actually shaken up all the stance of an argument. And why this works is because challenges claim with major unaddressed consequences. So that's how you actually, like that's how exactly how you just go and answer the POI or ask the POI. So would not be banning silence marginalized voices replying to autonomy. So that's how you answer the POIs, and that's like a strong thing that you can ask in a POI also. The common mistakes to avoid is just simple when offering a POI. Offer too many POIs. Don't offer too many POIs. I think three are maximum. I think even attending one is just fine as a student. And if you're a very professional debater, then of course two or three. Asking unclear or long-worded question. I just told you that keep it under 10 to 15 seconds, not more than that. And asking clear question that what you are asking. Don't just hackle and muggle up everything and just say interrupting or disrespecting the speaker. And that just a normal quote that just flashed in my mind: hate the sinner, hate the sin, not the sinner. So that's how hate the argument or attack on the argument, don't attack on the speaker, right? Repeating your own arguments, that's also not fair, not fair. And you know rhetorical question that like lacking of substance, just don't. So like bad example, everything you are saying is wrong. Avoid this. There is no point of saying that. You don't have to fight in a debate. Basically what you see on all the news channels, that's not even a debate. They're just like shouting on each self and fighting. That's not a proper debate. In a debate you have to keep yourself calm and then speak, right? You don't have to just fight between them, you just have to debate. And debate is much more better than that. Now, POI is your tool for victory in a BP debate. So practice it regularly, often in response to POIs in every debate. Like do it very frequently. And when you do it frequently, you will actually get used to it and you can handle POIs very efficiently, because handling POIs is also difficult. Now study the expert, analyze the successful POIs from top debaters and people, and they can actually help you with that. Adapt strategy. So every time you go up into something, just adapt a new strategy and then go into the debate. So you will know that which strategies work for me. So if in debate one, I go with X strategy, and if in debate two, I go with Y strategy, then I can definitely compare and understand either X or Y is better for me. So that's how you go for analysis or adapt strategies and make it natural. So just don't put POIs to just like show the opponent that we are better. It's just a genuine curiosity that you add to the debate, and that curiosity adds a depth or value to the debate. So don't just like put debates or POIs just to prove that I am superior, I am big. That's not a way of professional debating, because professional debating is very hard and very ethical. So every time, just put it seamlessly. That's just all for that. I don't think I need to explain that much for that. So that was it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you love, you know what to do. So thank you so much for watching.